I don't know if you can see this, but right behind me, let's zoom in a little bit, is one of the most expensive houses in the world. This house costs more than $1 billion. That's right, this is the house of Mukesh Ambani, the wealthiest person in India. And even though India has a huge population, lots of hardworking people, a large part of the population still lives under the poverty line. So what separates Mukesh Ambani, the wealthiest person in India, versus some of the poorest people in the world, all living together in one city? That's exactly what we're going to learn in this video. In this video, we're going to learn from the wisdom of Naval Ravikant. In fact, this is one of the best books I've read so far this year. This book is a complete guide on wealth and happiness. And in this book, we're going to focus on part 1, which is on building wealth. Naval Ravikant is an Indian-American entrepreneur and investor. He's the co-founder, chairman, and former CEO of AngelList. And he was an early investor in over 200 companies, including Uber, Foursquare, Twitter, Wish.com, Poshmark, Postmates, Thumbtack, Notion, and many more tech companies. To say the least, he's a pretty big deal in Silicon Valley. And I personally grew up in India as well, but over the last 10 years, I've been living in Silicon Valley myself. And as an entrepreneur based out of Silicon Valley, I really look up to Naval and his content. So in this video, we're gonna learn how to get rich without getting lucky and without resorting to unethical business practices. We're also going to learn what makes Silicon Valley so successful and why some of the biggest companies in the world are located in Silicon Valley. And most importantly, you're going to learn how to create massive leverage in your business so that you can build a wildly successful business that no one can compete with. I'm also going to share with you where you can read this book for free. So stay tuned to the end of the video. So what is wealth and what's the difference between being wealthy and being rich? Because they're not the same. In fact, most of the people you see out there that you think are wealthy are actually just rich, meaning they have money. But having money does not equal having wealth. Wealth is having assets that work for you while you sleep. Whereas if somebody is rich, they probably have a good income and a good income source. But if they're only stuck exchanging their time for money and they're not building equity, that person is not wealthy. Now, unfortunately, we live in a day and age of social media where there's a lot of people who are flashing their money. But this book specifically talks about building wealth. And to quote the book, it says, "Seek wealth, not money or status. Wealth is having assets that earn while you sleep. Money is how we transfer time and wealth. Status is your place in the social hierarchy." Ignore people playing status games. They gain status by attacking people playing wealth creation games. What this means is that it's very easy to show off your wealth. Let's say you're making money. If you're making money, it's very easy to buy stuff that will make you look rich, like buying designer clothes, buying fancy cars, going on fancy vacations, posting nice pictures on Instagram to show off your lifestyle. That gives people the perception that you are rich. However, if you're constantly spending money on those things, it won't help you build long-term wealth. Meaning, instead, if you took that money and you invested into a business, whether it's your own business, or you bought equity in a company through shares, or you became a partner in another company, or you invested that money into real estate or other investments, then that will help you build assets. Versus if you go out there and spend your money on, let's say, a car is a depreciating asset. As soon as you buy that car off the lot, you're gonna lose its value right away, and it's gonna keep depreciating as time goes on. You are not going to get rich renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business, to gain your financial freedom. You will get rich by giving society what it wants, but does not yet know how to get at scale. So if you want to get rich without being lucky, sure, luck is a huge part of getting rich or being successful in anything. Luck definitely matters, let's not be delusional about it. However, in this day and age, the internet has opened up so many opportunities in this world, yet very few people know how to use it. So the mindset that I'm trying to share with you, what makes someone wealthy, is wealthy people have an investor mindset. And it's not just investing in terms of money. In anything that you do in life, you're gonna invest your time, your money, your energy into it. So might as well use those in things that will give you long-term returns. All the returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. Now, a lot of gurus online will tell you that if you want to get rich, if you want to make money, you gotta work hard. Yes, that's true, but working hard is overrated in this day and age. Back in the day, before technology, working hard was the only way you could make money. Let's say you were a farmer. You had to go out in the field and work hard, put in the time and make money. Or let's say in the industrial age, where people used to work shifts in factories. You put in your 8-hour shift, you produced an X amount of units, and that was your productivity. So the goal with productivity was simply to increase production. Where in this day and age, you're not just making money based on your input, you're making money on your output. Results matter. You can work 16 hours a day, but if you're not producing results, then it doesn't matter. So a lot of productivity gurus out there will teach you how you can do the most with your time. But at the end of the day, hard work is only one part of the equation. In fact, what you work on and the people that you work with are way more important than working hard. Because let's face it, there's a lot of hardworking people out there, but you only have so much time and energy. Both of these are limited resources. However, if you are strategic about it, if you work on the right thing, meaning if you identify the right product market fit, and to be successful in this day and age, you need skills. More importantly, you need specific knowledge. You need to be an expert at something that you can dominate, and also the market will reward you for it. So if you identify something that society wants or needs, but does not yet know how to get, and if you are able to supply that at scale, and specific knowledge is not something that you can be trained for. If society can train you, it can train someone else and replace you. Specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever is hot right now. Building specific knowledge will feel like play to you, but will look like work to others. When specific knowledge is taught, it's through apprenticeships, not schools. Specific knowledge is often highly technical or creative. It cannot be outsourced or automated. So most people's career paths look like this. You go to school, find a degree that's high paying, you become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. Especially coming from India, I've seen this over and over again, where any other profession is kind of looked down upon because it's not highly paying. But how many of those doctors, lawyers, engineers are actually wealthy? It's a small percentage of them. And the people who do get wealthy is not because of just the skills that they learned in school. Because if school can teach you to be successful, then other people can also use the same skills. What makes you stand out? And for this, you need to learn business skills. And as an entrepreneur and somebody who's been to business school, business is not something someone can teach you, but you can definitely learn business. You have to do it yourself. It's a creative outlet. But if you combine those skills that you learn in school with life skills and business skills, that will actually make you successful, not the skills that you learn in school by themselves. So how did Silicon Valley become so huge? I've lived there for 10 years. I've worked for some of the biggest tech companies out there. And the thing that makes places like Silicon Valley so successful, for example, Apple just crossed $3 trillion in market cap, which is bigger than most countries' GDP. And it all comes down to one word: leverage. If you don't own a piece of a business, you don't have a path towards financial freedom. In fact, you need to stop thinking of rich versus poor, and you need to start thinking in terms of leveraged versus unleveraged. Rich people or wealthy people have leverage in their lives. And another word for leverage could be scale. How do you scale a business? Well, back in the day, the only way you could scale a business was through labor. So for example, if you had a farm, if you had a factory, you can always hire more people to increase your production. Then as money started to come into the picture, capital became a strong form of leverage. Because there was money markets, money was circulating, people could lend money, people could borrow money, people could spend money on assets to increase their production. Maybe someone buys a factory, maybe somebody buys machinery on their farms. So capital became a form of leverage. However, in modern times, there's two other forms of leverage that will make you successful. One of them is through technology. Now, technology is nothing new. Technology is why Western countries became so rich over the last couple of centuries. It's because of the industrial age. At one point, cars used to be technology because most people are still riding horses and horse cars. So something new comes along that people want and people need. It will help people's lives. And if you can produce that at scale, then you've got technology working for you. But more importantly, the reason why countries like India are still developing countries is because of the large reliance on labor. In order to scale your business or your country's economy using labor, the more people you hire, the more it's going to cost you. Versus if you can make a machine that does the work of 10 people or 100 people, then that makes your productivity go through the roof. Let's say it would cost you what you would pay to your labor force for 1 month, but after that, it's all profit. The only other money you will be spending is on maintenance and the running costs, let's say fuel, electricity, etc. But then you don't have to spend time and energy into managing people. You don't have to hire additional managers, keep up with productivity, and all of that stuff. However, in this day and age, you don't even need machinery to be successful because now we've got software and code. And that is why the biggest companies in the world are tech companies. It's easy to replicate software, and whether 10 people download your software or app, or 100 people or 1,000 people or even 10,000 people download your software, it's not going to cost you extra to acquire those users. Sure, as your company grows, you're going to have to hire people to maintain your software, customer service, all those things, but it's not going to cost you significantly more the more users you acquire. And that is one way this book shares how you can build permissionless leverage. and anyone can learn how to code in this day and age. It's no longer restricted to a few people. Brings us to the fourth way of scaling your business is through media. And the great thing about modern times is that media is freely available to everyone. It's truly become a democratic platform where everyone has access to the same platforms. Whether you're a multi-trillion-dollar corporation or if you're just starting out, we all have access to media. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, emails. Everyone has access to media and everybody has the ability to create content at scale. That's why marketers like Gary Vee have become so popular and are so outspoken when it comes to leveraging your brand with media. For example, you could talk to your customers one-on-one, or you could produce videos that will speak to your customers and potential customers, and 1,000 people or 10,000 people or 100,000 people can watch your content, which is a form of leverage because now you're no longer limited by your time and energy. You just create the content once and the possibilities are endless. And so many people have built massive brands using the power of social media. People like Gary Vee, Joe Rogan, Mr. Beast, you name it. These people have built massive media empires that they're using to create multiple streams of income for their business. Earn with your mind, not your time. So how do you create massive leverage in your business by using these four elements? Well, if you want to scale through labor, it's going to be hard for you to do. You're going to have to hire more people, manage them, but it's relatively a simple way to scale, but that won't give you enough leverage in this day and age because anyone can hire people. The next step is capital. Capital can be hard to acquire, and also if you have capital, you have to be careful spending it because you could lose all your money and go bankrupt. But the other two ways that I mentioned, technology is something you can definitely leverage. Let's say you have no idea how to write code or build a software, but there's so many softwares available out there that will automate huge parts of your business. In fact, I recently made a video on the top 5 free tools you can use to grow your business. Make sure to check it out in the description below. But me personally, I'm not a programmer or into tech. I do have a lot of friends and other entrepreneurs that are in this field, but there's so many tools available out there at almost no cost that you can use to grow your business. Everything is available at your fingertips to use. So if you stay on the cutting edge of technology, find the tools that will automate your business, bring down your costs, make things easier for your employees, then why won't you use it? So make sure you're leveraging technology, whether you want to come up with your own software and sell it and acquire users, or if you want to leverage technology to grow your own business. And the fourth way, which I personally am a big fan of, and this is how I plan on building a $1 billion business, is through media. Because like I said, there's no barrier to entry when it comes to media. In fact, you're consuming this content on a media platform, and this is how millions of creators throughout the world are building a full-time income, building real wealth, building an audience that is also an asset, earning money, investing money, and building massive businesses using the power of media, using the scale that media provides. For example, if you look at somebody like Gary Vee, he makes over $200 million in his businesses using the power of media. He gets paid a ton of money to do a speech, but also more importantly, he's been able to build many successful businesses using his specific business and marketing skills, which you can also learn over time. Ways to get lucky. Hope luck finds you. Hustle until you stumble into it. Prepare the mind and be sensitive to chances others miss. Or become the best at what you do. Refine what you do until this is true. Opportunity will seek you out. Luck becomes your destiny. So I would highly recommend that you get this book. So I barely touched upon the principles of this book, but I would highly recommend that you check out this book. If you want to get this book for free, just Google it. It's on our website. I'll put the link down below, but you can download the ebook. And the audiobook is also available for free on YouTube, which are also linked down below. But to conclude this video, how you get wealthy is, first of all, thinking like an investor. Don't fall for trying to build status. And in fact, be careful about people who are just trying to show off their status, because they will try to attack you. They'll try to make fun of you for building your wealth. Build specific skills that will make you money. And these are not skills that you will learn from school. Build specific business skills, sales skills. And also the most important thing is strategy. It's not about working hard. Anyone can work hard, but it's really finding what society needs right now and also what's your unique strengths. Just because there's a demand for something out there doesn't mean that you can supply it. But if you can make something that has a good product market fit and you also have specific skills and knowledge around that, then that will be the best case scenario. And once you find that, leverage technology and leverage media to build your massive empire. And this way, not only will you get rich, you'll actually become wealthy. And not only will you become wealthy, you can build generational wealth for your kids and your grandkids and beyond. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out this book, and I'll see you next time.